I'm a big believer in assets. One of the reasons I love this business model is because it's asset based. Drop shipping is not. FBA is not. Facebook ad agency, SEO agency. These are not asset based. You are trading your time for dollars. And yes, you own the business, but you are at the end of the day trading your time for dollars. And if the client quits on you, you have nothing to show. And we've all been there. I've been there. I was at Disneyland one time, lost a $4,000 per month SEO deal. And at that time I was making $10,000 a month, 40% of my revenue gone. You're sitting there going, dude, those churros, those $5, $10 churros are looking a little more pricey. Anyway, my long-term game plan is as follows. I am using Rank and Rent as my core strategy for, number one, paying all my bills, getting out of the rat race, which I have successfully done, thank goodness, where I no longer have to work, and then taking the excess cash and putting that into additional assets. My main target being physical real estate. Inside of physical real estate, I'm very interested in commercial. I own a few commercial properties. I'm still cutting my teeth. I know nothing compared to what I know about this business. I know nothing compared to like probably a lot of you guys, but I'm taking the cash from this business and I am putting it into physical real estate, specifically commercial real estate. And as part of that, I have been actively searching the different websites. I've actively been talking to commercial real estate brokers in different parts of the country, specifically in my, the city that I spend most of my time, which is in Utah. A couple years ago, not last year was tough because of interest rates. The year before, I was able to pick up a couple properties. One of them was a partnership. It was an office complex. Anyway, I've been talking to this real estate agent, this commercial real estate agent in Utah, and he's been sending me these deals, and he sends me, hey, check this out. Hey, this one's going to be coming online. You want to take a peek at it before it goes on LoopNet, blah, 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 blah. And dude, I cannot make the numbers make sense. We're looking at the, he's like, okay, here's the amount that you can charge for this type of building. Awesome. Here's how many square feet it is. You do the math, like, okay, that's $4,500 in rent. If you're going to do a triple net, here's the additional money you're going to make. So I'm like, okay, cool. $5,500, let's say. Okay, I'm going to make $5,500 per month. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's say this property is $1 million. Okay, I'm going to put $200,000 down, interest rates 8%. And I'm looking at the numbers and there's just no way to even break even. And I'm like, look, I get it. There are other things besides just cash flow, right? There's appreciation, there's depreciation, etc. But it has to break even. I can't be losing money on the deal. I have to at least be breaking even. Somebody else can pay for it. I can go at zero, but I can't just bleed on a deal. We've been talking about a specific deal. Somebody put it under contract. They came out and then it went back under. And then he's like, sorry, man, we missed that one. Here's this other one. I just started messaging him like, dude, I can't make the numbers work. He's like, I said, I've called a couple banks. One of them told me 8%. One of them told me 7.5%, all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, I cannot figure out how to make this thing even break even. And he just kept coming at me and saying like,
well, many of our clients, they look at it from an appreciation and depreciation standpoint.
And I was like, yeah, but I can't get it to break even. And then it was like, well, and then a lot of these guys are taking 1031 exchange money and pay. And it was just like one thing after another. And the thing that frustrated me is like, I get it, bro. You're trying to sell, you're trying to get a commission, you're trying to be optimistic about the future and the current state of commercial real estate. But the fact of the matter is, you lost my trust because you could have just come to me and said, look, dude, now's not a great time to buy. You're not going to break even. If you're trying to like get some kind of cash flow, probably not going to work. And all I was getting at, it's hard to make the numbers work. It frustrated me to the point that I stopped messaging the guy. And I started thinking, am I doing that with this business model? And I get it. When you're in a business, your whole future depends on it. You almost want to be blind to the realities of what's happening. And I understand he's being optimistic. You get in these conferences, it's like, oh, the rates are going to get better. And here's this. And we're so optimistic as humans, but I would just have appreciated some candor. I want to be the guy in this game that will give it to you straight. That will tell you, hey, look, that is a concern. Even though it's a concern, here's what I'm doing. Here's why I'm still doing it. But yes, that is a concern. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want you guys to be able to look at me, assess what I tell you guys. Number one, be able to tell that I'm actually doing this, that I have done it, that I'm not just speaking from, whatever. And number two, to gain your trust, to know that like, if it's not, rainbows and Skittles, I'm not going to tell you it's rainbows and Skittles. And there are some downsides to this game. Okay. So that's where this whole thing came from. I don't want you guys to ever think if you post a concern, let's say we're in this group, you guys are like, hey, I want to post a concern that I have about this business model. I'm 100% cool with it. Post it. I'll let the admins approve it. We're not going to hide it. We're not going to control the narrative and make it look like this is all whatever, because then it looks like a scam. If you guys have a legitimate concern, search the group, look at what everyone's saying. And if you still aren't resolved, then post it and say, hey, here's my concern. I'm concerned because that GBP, this, that, and the rest. There's a ton of different threads talking about this specific topic, but I don't want you guys to feel like this group is a place where you can't talk about the downsides. Now, it's not going to be a place of negativity. You can totally bring it up.